If you walk into a moment believing you've lost, you already have. You walk in, your heart's racing, and you're like, I can't do this. So what happens is, neurologically, in your mindset, in your mood, you walk in already expecting to fail. So you're aiming to fail. So you typically fail. Whether you can or can't is completely up to you. If you believe you can do this, you can. If you believe you can't do this, you can't. Think of your mind as a rudder. Any little shift, any little pivot, any little move, any little turn can put you in a position where you'll be out of alignment. You won't be going towards your goals because one small thing, it's not that big, one small thing can stop you from being the master executioner that you aim to be. And now the thing about it is, right, it's not a soft skill mindset. Everyone believes this is hyperbole. They're like, Troncoso, what are you talking about? And I'm trying to make it clear to you that mindset is not a soft skill. It's crucial. It's integral. It's monumental. It's that rudder that doesn't seem like a lot. That doesn't seem like it's supposed to make a big deal. That doesn't seem like it's supposed to be this shifter of such a magnitude yet. That little thing makes a big difference. So with that being said, you have to look at it not as a soft skill, but as an engine. In every result, in every decision, in every breakthrough, that mindset determines the result that you're aiming to get. So, this is why I say what I say, right? Students, hear me. We are halfway through the school year. If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. It's as simple as that. Because from there, from your mindset, from your ideas, from your mind, what tends to happen is you decide based on your thought process. You start to study more if you believe it's worth a shot. If you don't believe you can't, then what's the point? Just go back to bed. Don't go to school. Because you believed that you can't do this. I'm not saying that can is replacing logical thinking, educated guesses. But we're talking about educated guesses. You have to be educated to guess, but you have to guess first. You have to believe first. You have to consider first. You have to have that mindset that first, I'm going to do it. We're going to figure it out. So that means this, right? Before you open your exam, before you open your test, before you give that presentation, you need to know this. 80% of your thoughts are negative. And study shows that 90% of your thoughts are repetitive. So if you have that negative thought, it seeps in and it continues and continues and continues until you make the decision to not bow down to that thought, to not serve that thought, to not meditate or think or mediate that thought. That thought's going to come. I'm not saying that you're not going to have thoughts that are going to stop you from what you were destined and created to be, to do, to execute. It's common. It's scientific. The studies say it. 4 out of 5 of your thoughts are negative. It's like negative, 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 negative. Positive. Negative, 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 negative. Positive. The odds are against you. So I'm not saying that this is easy. I am saying that it is possible. And if not you, then who? You have been called for this. You have the mission to do this. Your family, your teachers, they know you can. The question is, will you? It's in your hands. And you have to understand that you can't go in thinking you've taken it out, because you will. You won't do as good as you thought you would have, because you don't think you can to begin with. So you have to decide before you even try. And then you have to try. There are so many students I've had that don't do well because they don't try. So what happens is I do this like EQ Jedi mind trick with emotional intelligence, because I've read their IEP. I've read the back track record of how they move. What are their tics? You have to learn people. Whether it's colleagues, whether it's friends, whether it's students. You need to learn people. You need to learn people in order to lead. So if I know these things can contribute to doing well, one trick, one trigger, one red flag. If I see what you're capable of when you weren't thinking that you were being assessed, I already know you can do it. I'm going to say that again. If I try a trick, a trigger, a red flag, and it causes you to produce a result when you didn't think you were being assessed, I know you can do it. It's your mind that's going to stop you from executing what you already know you can do. And again, I'm talking about the students. Let's talk about the educators. Let's talk about it, people. Let's talk about the educators. Because it's real. It's real. Like educators, you shape the mindset of entire generations. If you come in with that energy, we talk about power, wavelength. Catch the energy and the deposition of the room. And then E, energy. Give them that energy or match the energy. Yes, you're tired. Yes, you're exhausted. Yes, this is a lot. But you can be that extreme executioner. You can be the one that gets it done. Because if you plant the seed, that's all that it takes for the seed to start growing. Seeds don't grow in your bag. You're probably like, Troncoso, duh. So then why do you act in your teaching practice like that's how that works? It's all in your head. How does it get to the student? How does it get to the scholar? How does it get to your peer? What are you doing to make sure that you are connecting with people, that you are meeting them where they're at, that you are affirming that they can do this, that they will do this, that they should do this? Are you looking at how they're moving and assessing before you assess? The test taking happens before the test taking. The assessments happen before the assessment. So how are you doing that? Think about this, right? If you don't believe that your student can, why should they? They got to prove me wrong. No, they don't. You're the adult. You're the master. You're the expert. You're the person. You're the one that decides if they can do it. Now, they can prove you wrong, but it's not as easy. It's not as easy. You have to believe in them. They have to believe that you believe in them. I've had many educators in my years that have poured into me when I'm like, I don't even know, sir. One of them was like, oh, yeah, no, you could speak well. You could sing well. You can perform well. And as a 10-year-old, I'm like, ma'am, no, there's no way. I'm not articulate. I am not able to come up with thoughts. I have X, Y, Z as a problem. My excuses. I never would have been able to predict what would have happened in these last 20 years. So, why do you expect your students to? We don't know what they're capable of. We don't know what they can do. You are positioned to learn what they are capable of, to push what they can do, to magnify and scale and exponentially increase what they are capable of. You are the key to open the door they have to walk through. They got to walk through that door. Yeah, no, sure. Of course, students got to do it. I'm not throwing this all on you, but you have the key. You're the person. So with that being said, right, the beacon can't afford to dim itself. Because if you're supposed to light the path, they're walking it, but you have to light it. I'm going to stay right here. You have to light the path for them. They will walk through it. But how lit are you? Are you flickering? Are you burnt out? And if so, how are we fixing that? Because I'm not denying that that's not true. It's very hard for a burnt out light bulb to light anything up. But maybe you need to change that light bulb. Maybe you need to fix the circuits. Maybe you need to pour into yourself in order to be the best you can be. But make sure that you do choose to do that, because there's a lot of people counting on you. Students, maybe you need to pour into yourself. Maybe you need to take a moment. Maybe you need to remind yourself, what is the reason I'm in school to begin with? Not because I'm being forced to. What makes you want to try? And are you willing to try, even if it might not work the way you want it to? Give it a shot. You'd be surprised what can happen. So, with that being said, this is what you need to focus on. Whether you're a student stepping into an exam, stepping into whatever you're going to do, or your teacher leading that student to that exam, to the next stage of their career, consider this. Really ask yourself, what mindset am I moving with? What am I doing? So, because this moment you choose can determine the rest of your life, can determine the rest of the year. Guys, we're halfway through. Are you on E already? Getting ready for Christmas, and I'm Spanish, so okay, coquito, right? Benil, right? I'm excited for the food. I'm excited for the drinks. I'm excited for all of these things that we are, the family time. I'm excited for it. But when we come back in January, and I mean December is going to be a pretty busy month for me. But when I'm back, am I recharging to make sure that I can pour into people for the remainder of the year, for the remainder of time to come? What am I doing to make sure that I'm serving people around the country on a regular basis with excellence? With excellence. You don't understand, your mediocrity is masterful to some people, but your mindset stops you from seeing that. Can you imagine what would happen if you actually tried? Students, educators, I'm talking to all of you. Can you imagine what would happen if you actually tried? If you actually gave it your best shot? If you actually moved? If you actually gave it a solid attempt? You'd be surprised. So with that being said, mindset moves you. You decide. Choose to move in purpose. Choose to move in effort. Choose to move with that excellence. And roadblocks come. But we got to do it scared. Because this day can be the day that changes your life forever. But you will never know if you don't go. So just do it. And do it scared. You'll see what happens.